Hi, everyone. We're just going to wait a minute or two to let a couple more people from the waiting room in, and then we'll get started. But we appreciate you being here. If you wouldn't mind putting your cameras on, you don't have to. We don't want anybody to be uncomfortable, but we like to see faces. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If anybody else joins, we will let them in. Welcome to our Teacher Preparation and Certification Program webinar. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Admissions, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Kelly McClure, who is the Program Director and Professor of Practice, Brittany Young, who is the Senior Academic Advisor for this program, and also Ann Conlon, who is behind the scenes running these slides and making the magic happen. So we are thrilled that you all are here. If you all wouldn't mind, in the chat box at the bottom of your screen, I'm going to put a little message myself in here. If you wouldn't mind replying to it and saying your name and where you're from, what part of the country you're calling in from. We always like to get a sense of who's with us today, and just we like to get to know our prospective applicants. So you can just drop it in the chat function at the bottom. And you should be seeing a little welcome from me also. So a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement, as you're putting your name and your information in. Tulane University, so Sarah is from Shreveport/New Orleans. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah Webb, I think we have another Sarah with us also. Thanks. And if anybody else wants to put their information in. So Tulane University itself was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. It's kind of interesting history, considering that Tulane was founded in response to the yellow fever epidemic that was taking over this entire region back in the 1830s. And so we needed to educate medical professionals to help with a public health crisis. And here we are, fast forward to 2021, and we're in another pandemic public health crisis. Alice, thanks from HOMA. Thanks for putting your information in. The School of Professional Advancement in its earliest iteration was founded 50 years after the founding of the entire university. So very, very early on was it founded. And it was founded in the roots of reaching out to our own local New Orleans community, to reach out to working adults, to offer them a Tulane education. And we realized that that needed to be done in a little bit of a different way, right? These weren't traditional undergrads that were coming during the day, but that these were working professionals in our city that needed maybe evening classes or weekend classes. They needed a flexible schedule because they were working professionals, but wanted to take advantage of all the educational opportunities that Tulane offered. We are still doing that today. So that is part of the DNA of who we are. But what's important for you all to sort of your takeaway from this is that we have been committed to that kind of educational opportunity since literally the 1880s. And I think that you will see that in the flexibility of our classes, our tuition price point, and also the fact that we help tailor our programs to working adults. Some of the information that we're going to talk about today in this webinar, we're going to talk about our program, the Teacher Preparation and Certification Program. We're going to talk about the strength of our faculty. I'm going to let Kelly do all that because that's her expertise. We're going to talk about what we offer to students for support. Brittany will do a little bit talking about that since she's the Senior Academic Advisor. And then I'll jump back in to talk a little bit about the affordability and flexibility of our programs. All of this is wrapped up in a Tulane degree. So we never underestimate, and we always want to underscore the value of a Tulane degree. It's a recognized degree, it's a prestigious degree, and it opens doors to professional opportunities. So we want you all to keep that in mind as you're making your decisions about where you want to pursue your next educational steps. So I'm going to mute myself and let Kelly jump on in here, and I'll be jumping back in a little further down in the webinar.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Sheila. So welcome again to everyone. I'm just going to talk a bit about the types of programs that we have and a little bit of background that you need, just specifically about what we do with respect to teacher certification and preparation. And so there's two main pathways at the moment that you can pursue here at SOPA. The first is in early childhood education, which obviously is for our youngest students in pre-K through third grade. And then the second is our secondary education track, which is middle and high school. For those, we have not only the regular course offerings, but we also have the specialization courses within the content area. So if you're interested in being an English teacher, social studies, math of all varieties, the sciences, and even foreign language, we have special courses and tracks for that. So you have to choose, if you're in a secondary concentration, which one you want to be a part of, and then we take it from there. The next thing on the next slide is our endorsements. These are just getting started this summer, and we're very excited about them because it fulfills our own mission here at TPCP with respect to serving diverse learners. So this is critical to our success and a critical need, not only here in New Orleans and in Louisiana, but across the United States, as we all know. So we have two endorsements coming that start this summer. Special education is the first one, and it will be a 6-course series plus one praxis exam. And then there will be another endorsement pathway for those interested in specializing in teaching English learners. And so the thing about these endorsements is typically this is something that you would add on to certification that you already possess. And so we have therefore truncated, made it a robust and rigorous program, but it's based on the understanding that you come with sort of prerequisites that you have fulfilled in reaching your initial certification as a teacher. Next slide. We wanted to give you a sense, and I'm not sure if this is large enough, but the general gist is that there is a pathway for both secondary, and then you'll see on the next slide, for early childhood, where you could complete this course of study typically within 3 years. I think I'm checking with the faculty on this one, actually. I believe that if you were a real go-getter and wanted to take courses over the summer, that is also a possibility and could shorten this program. But more information about that once we get further into it. In this case, this is just to show you, you would typically take 2 classes in the fall, 1 class in the spring, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. That final third year, of course, is for the residency. So whether you're a student teacher or someone who's already in the classroom and just seeking your residency experience, that happens in that third year. The next slide shows the same sort of trajectory for early childhood, the pre-K3 certification requirements. So our guiding principles here, as I said, I think we started the PowerPoint saying that our mission is ensuring that we deliver on the promise of having teachers who are knowledgeable and caring and skilled at their jobs. And as I just mentioned, serving diverse populations within the inclusive setting to the extent possible is another sort of guiding principle that we put at the center of the focus We look for developing educators who are both innovative and take on all of the regular roles of a teacher in doing so, and then beyond if that became something that you were interested in, but also those who serve as advocates for their students in the sense for social change. We know that education plays a really sort of critical place for all of students, but we want to make sure that our teachers are ready to prepare students in order to have the not only academic success but also social and sort of life success from the time they're in the classroom and then beyond. I'm going to hand this now to Brittany Young, our senior academic advisor.
Hi, everyone. I noticed a couple of names here that I've chatted with via email, so nice to virtually meet you. My name is Brittany Young, and I am the academic advisor that works with all of the students in the education programs here at Tulane. Basically, I work with you from start to finish to make sure that you are enrolling in the correct classes, that you don't have any registration issues when the time comes. I kind of work as a liaison if you need to kind of talk to anyone else within the program or on campus, or really if you have a question, you're not sure who to ask, you can come to me first and I would be more than happy to direct you to the correct people. Aside from just academic advisors, Tulane as a whole has a huge network of alumni and a lot of events that we put on throughout the year to help connect you with alumni and other program peers and community partners. We also have career advising here. We have a dedicated career advisor, Miss Cynthia Washington, and she is wonderful. She can help you with anything such as mock interviews, updating your resume, creating a cover letter, exploring job opportunities in the area. If you don't really know where to start with that, she's a great resource. In terms of campus safety and security, we have a couple of different offices on campus to help you during times of need. So if you come across any sort of hurdles during your time with us, whether that be personal, mental, financial, whatever, physical, whatever it is, we will help connect you with the correct offices that can help you academically succeed during that time. And speaking of academic success, we also have a tutoring center on campus that is available to you as a SOPA student. So a lot of resources here to help you succeed. So Sheila, did you want to jump in on this one?
I'm going to jump on in.
Sure.
Thanks. So we like to let our students know that we are very intentional about understanding that you all are balancing not only being working professionals, but also with going back to school. And part of that balance is knowing that you're making a commitment of your time, but also of your financial resources. We at SOPA intentionally have a lower tuition rate than the rest of Tulane University. That is part of our commitment since the 1880s to working professionals. So we like to be very clear about what our tuition price point is. For those of you who are interested in starting this summer, and our application is still open and you can still start classes this summer, our tuition rate is $524 per credit hour. It will be going up slightly in the fall to $576. Most courses are 3 credit hours, so it's important to keep that in mind. And students generally take 1 to 2 classes a semester, with balancing that out with their work commitments. We do like to be very clear with students because we know that you're very savvy consumers and you're comparing us to other schools. We keep our fees on top of our tuition rate very, very low. When comparing Tulane's program to other schools, even within our own New Orleans area, if you add on fees on top of tuition, you will notice that we are one of the best values in town. There are other schools that almost double how much you have to pay each semester when you start adding on the fees. So please take that into account. You pay virtually just tuition with just a nominal amount on top for fees. Even with that said, many of our students still apply for financial aid, and we do offer federal grants and loans through the FAFSA. If you are going to be applying for aid, I do suggest that you start the FAFSA process as soon as possible. It does take several weeks to get through the financial aid process, so don't leave that towards the end. If you have any questions, you can reach out and we can connect you to some support folks in our office and also in the financial aid office that can help you navigate that. You don't feel like you have to navigate that alone. We are proudly a yellow ribbon school. So for those of you who have served in the military and can take advantage of being a yellow ribbon program member, please do. There is statewide initiative funding, which I'm going to let Kelly jump back in and talk about a little bit in a minute, and also Department of Education funding. Before I have Kelly jump back in, we do offer, on top of our tuition, several 20% tuition discounts, and we hope that you'll fall into one of these categories and can take advantage of them. Anyone who is active duty military, if you're over 60 years old, if you're a city or parish employee, a first responder, if you have received your bachelor's degree from a minority serving institution, so it could be an HBCU, a Hispanic serving institution, or an Indigenous person serving institution, we offer a 20% discount. If you're a current teacher, or if you're a veteran. So if you fall into any of those categories, we do offer 20% discounts on top of our tuition rate. So Kelly, do you want to talk about the system-wide initiative and the Department of Education opportunities?
Sure. So the Department of Education will reimburse for, I believe, $1,000 per student per year for those students who are planning to teach in high needs areas. The same is true for system-wide initiative funding. How this works is through various schools, but if you're associated with a particular school, you can be sponsored essentially by your school, by Tulane, and then NOLA Public Schools, which is our local district, and to the tune of like $3,000 a year. So right there, for those who are here and teaching and intending to continue to serve locally for high needs. And when I say high needs, I mean in the STEM content areas, as well as those for special education and English language learners. So just extra funding that is available for those who are already here in the profession and ready to continue their learning.
Thank you. Okay, so applying to our program is relatively simple. We try to make it simple on purpose, although questions come up from time to time, and if they do, please reach out. Do not be shy. Our application is online. It can be found on our website at sopa.tulane.edu. Once you go to our website, there's a big button at the top of our homepage that says apply. Go ahead and click there. I will let you know, just a little pro tip, because this is a post-baccalaureate certificate, please use our undergraduate application. You will have the option for either undergraduate or graduate. We know that you are not applying for an undergraduate degree, but we do use our undergraduate application for this program. It's also a way that we can offer you undergraduate tuition rates, which makes it a little bit less expensive. So make a note somewhere. If for some reason you pull up the graduate application, you can't find our program, just send us an email and I can help walk you through it. We will need you to upload a picture of a current government ID. For most folks, that just means using your phone. Take a picture of your driver's license or passport, upload that image. We will need transcripts from any undergraduate institution where you received credit. Those could be sent either electronically or by US mail. We do encourage electronic transcripts because they come to us much faster and they don't tend to get lost like transcripts due in the US Postal Service. That does happen from time to time. So we also require a $40 application fee, but as a thank you to you all for attending this webinar today, that will be waived. It should automatically be waived when you submit your application. You should not ask to pay the application fee. If for some reason you do get asked, please send us an email. Do not be shy about this. I always like to underscore it. There is no reason for you to pay that fee. Just send us an email and we can waive it. But we're capturing your attendance today, so it should automatically get waived. So some of the deadlines that we like to share with our applicants is if you are interested in starting this summer, our application deadline is May 1. However, we do offer early enrollment scholarships. This is an incentive to students to go ahead and get your application in as soon as possible and to register for classes as soon as possible. We do this every semester. If you get your application in and register for classes by April 25th, and there's still time to go ahead and do this, you will get a $200 scholarship for your first semester. We just automatically give you a $200 discount. So get off the fence if you're thinking about applying, and go ahead and get that application into us. It's another way that we can help defray the cost of going back to school. For those of you who are looking to start in fall, August 1 is the application deadline, but that application is open now. If you apply and register for classes by June 1, you will receive $200 off your first semester. And the same thing goes for spring for those of you who want to start in January. January 1 is our deadline, but if you apply and register for classes by December 1, you will get the $200 first semester discount. So I hope after this, we'll see your applications and see you register for classes. Okay, so Kelly's information is on the screen, but if you all have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or to take yourself off of mute. Brittany just put her contact information in the chat, and I will go ahead and put my... Oh, okay. My information is going to magically appear in the chat also. Feel free to reach out. Not everybody likes to talk in a Zoom meeting, so don't feel like you have to take yourself off of mute. You can send us an email as well. But we'll just leave a minute. Oh, there's my information, S. Gold. Thank you, Sarah, for saying it was helpful. We'll just wait another minute or two, and if we don't see any questions, then we... said, I don't know if I see any others. All right. Well, everybody knows how to reach us. You have all of our information. You will be receiving a follow-up email tomorrow, just thanking you for attending. You will also have a recorded version of this webinar. You can watch it again. If you had so much fun, you can do it again. And then also all of our information, contact information lives on our website. So you could go ahead and find us that way. But seeing that there are no other questions, I would like to say thank you for coming. Kelly, any last comments or thoughts?
No, just appreciate your attendance today. I hope this has been helpful and thorough enough for you. And please feel free to speak up now. We have plenty of time.
Yes, I have questions.
Yes, Alice.
Okay, so you don't need transcripts from graduate school, just undergrad, correct?
So we would like to see any school where you received credit. We would like to see those. You don't have to have graduate education in order to be accepted into our program, but we do like to see your academics performance. So go ahead and send those to us if you don't mind.
Okay, and the $200 waiver by the April 25th, will that just come off the top of my fees?
Yeah, well, what you'll see is when you get your first, your first semester's tuition bill, that's what I meant to say, you will see a $200 discount on there.
Okay, that was my other question too. It's been over 20 years since I've registered for college classes, so y'all are gonna have to walk me through.
That's what we do. We're happy to do it.
my first step is just to apply, and then how do I go about actually registering for, I'm interested in the TEL program.
Awesome.
So you should get an automated email once your application goes through with contact information for, it will either be me or perhaps Lauren. I'm not sure who's on that email, but you will get the contact information for someone to speak to about those courses, and then you can follow up there, and we'll walk you through how to register, and we can walk you through step by step.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Brittany.
Do you all know if the TEL courses this summer are going to be online?
They are absolutely going to be online, as will the ones in the fall and the spring.
Okay.
And I can already give you a little bit of a heads up that we'll be running the first course will be basically the month of June. The second course will be the month of July. And then we'll be running the third course in the fall and the fourth in the spring. So you could be finished in this year.
Okay. So it's not, I was under the impression that it was 2 at a time and I'd be done at the end of the summer, but no.
No, it would be too much work. Now, we had an earlier iteration of this program that wasn't under the School of Professional Advancement that used to run that way. But when we audited the course, we wanted to make sure it brought up to SOPA standards. And so now we're sort of redoing all the courses. I think in future years, we can look at that possibility. But right now we're stabilizing and making sure that we have the very best quality in terms of our coursework.
Now, when I take the third and the fourth in the fall and in the spring, will that be I'm worried about time and working during the day. Is that going to be offered in the evening?
Yes, all of our courses are in the evening.
Because of working people.
Because it's designed for you.
Right. It's designed, that's right. We're the School of Professional Advancement. That's right. Purposely,
There are also, just so you know, there are daytime offerings of the courses, but those are, we offer both night and day. And so, it's flexible for what you need.
Okay. All right. That's it from me. Thank you, ladies, so much. It was very helpful.
Great. Great. Well, thank you all so much. And don't forget to reach out if you have any other questions, but we certainly hope that get your applications in, go online right now, press apply, get those applications in, request your transcripts be sent electronically. We usually get those in 24 to 48 hours. And we'll read your applications and hopefully you can register for classes before the 25th and get that $200 discount. We would love to get that for you all. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we jump off, Sheila, I see that Leslie Gilmore has joined us.
No, we just had somebody join.
Oh, okay.
And so just want to make sure Leslie is there. The rest of you can go if you like, or you can stay on, that's fine. But thank you so much for attending.
Hi, Leslie. I see Leslie at the bottom of the screen. Hi, Leslie. Are you interested in taking your camera off, Leslie? We were just wrapping up, but we can answer any questions that you might have.
Well, I'm currently a teacher at Higgins High School. And so I need to work towards my certification. So I was just trying to see what the program, what were you guys talking about? Because I had lunch duty, so I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
And just so you know, there's another, we're going to repeat this on the evening of April 21st. So I can, if you send us your email, put it in the chat, then we'll make sure that you get the direct invitation.
What time? April 21st, what day is that? That's
It's Wednesday and it'll be in the evening at 6, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
6. So, and you know what else we're going to do, Leslie? We will be sending you an email tomorrow that has this webinar recorded. So if you want to watch it on your own, you can hear all
probably what I would have to do. Because on the 21st, I also coach track. I have a track meet that day, so I know I won't be able to get on.
Okay, well, no worries. We will, like I said, tomorrow you'll be getting a recording so you can watch it. It was about 25 minutes. It won't take a lot of your time. But also, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. But do you have any questions right now, or would you prefer to watch the recording tomorrow and then send us an email?
I would prefer to watch the recording just so I don't ask any questions that you've already answered.
Nothing's too silly, but I appreciate that. So all of our contact information, okay, leslie.gilmore at GP Schools. Okay, so all of our contact information has been shared in that recording. And so just watch it on your, at your leisure, and then feel free to send us an email.
All right.
All right. All right. Thanks,
you.
Leslie. I'm glad you got to chat with us for a second.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.